2. And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to the Hot Seat, your Thursday night addiction. We're excited. I am on location in beautiful downtown Pflugerville, which I had to actually look that up and make sure it was a real city. But it's a real city. Who knew? We're outside of Austin right now, Austin, Texas. We had a beautiful day hanging out with the Dawgfatha, James from Edmond and Cranium, our special guest, Dash, who no one knew he was going to be here, but he's here. There he is. And Bushy Beta, how you doing, man? All right, so, guys, we have a great hot seat tonight. We got C-Mac from the hashtag Blacks. He wanted to say Blackstreet Boys, Blackstone Boys from the Backstreet Boys. He's here. He's not in sync. He's not Justin Timberlake. We have C-Mac from hashtag Blackstone Boys is in the house. So everybody, we're excited to have you here. It's going to be a great show. I've been drinking from the jug, which is Dawgfatha specialty, and I can barely see straight. So this is going to be a fun one. Before we get going, I want to shout out my co-host with the most, Kent Vandy Weird. Looks like fresh from the barbershop. Looking fly with that flat top. Oh, I'm just jealous. All right, say hi to the people.
How we doing, everybody? I know you got quite the crew around you there, CJ, so I'm sure you boys are going to be having fun. I mean, you got a range in the gamut over there with the 2 J's you got there, one with no videos and, one with 250,000 subscribers. So,
it's going to be a long one.
So, I think it's kind of cool finally, being able to see Suburban Barbecue. So,
yeah, seeing Suburban Barbecue for the first time has been awesome. He's a good dude. We just need to be able to get him to put some videos together for sure. A week from Tuesday. All right, go ahead, Ken.
All right, let's see. C-Mac, I like your suggestion, but we can't go that cheap. We can't give the show away. We're not hookers. So, since somebody doesn't have to work tomorrow, I think we should give everybody a little bit of a bargain. And since you're only sipping out of a jug, so let's see. Josh, tell Babe she cannot have a shout out. We will not allow it.
Damn.
Let's go $12.
$12 is the hot seat.
There you go.
Can you turn that up so you guys can hear it, or I think you'll mess up my thing. Yeah. All right. So $12 is the hot seat. Here. Tom Jordan asks, "Will C-Mac ever talk?" Probably not. This is all about me. It's my show. It's just the way it is, man. Of course he's gonna die. Come on now. Guys, if you don't know, we're also live on Facebook. Go to Cooking with CJ on Facebook if you're not on this, which I think you're on this. So welcome, everybody. Leprechaun, what's going on? Before I turn it over to C-Mac, I want to shout out our moderators in the chat. Josh, the cooking cop, formerly of Josh and Babe, where Josh and Babe are still together, but he's just the cooking cop. Keith Bettag is always keeping score. LeprakonTV is in there. Dan for SmokeyGoodness. Johnny Mag's in the house, and I think that's all of the moderators I've seen so far.
No, Easy Bake Barbecue.
Easy Bake's in there. Jason, how you doing, buddy? Rest of the people in there, well, to my right, we have Dash. He can put his head in there. We have Justin from Baby Bag Maniac. There's a hand. Jim from Suburban Barbecue, who will still remain a mystery. We got Brother Alton. There he is. What up? We have Mrs. CJ and Mrs. Dawgfatha in the background. We got Scotty from the grill. What's up, brother? Rest of the people in the chat. We got Long's Quest. How you doing? Kris is in there. La Familia. Raspberry Rock. Ballistic Barbecue. Dead Broke Barbecue. Soul Food Cooking. Babe from formerly Josh and Babe. Now she's just Babe. Sierra, Jimmy Q. Carrie from VA Off-Road. Pickles is in there. Blue Smoke. Embarrassing Cooking. Rick, Jeff LaFoe, Big Frog, Larry Shepard, Vito Grill. I think that catches everybody up. Thank you all for being here. Smoky Joe's Pit Barbecue, I see you in there. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we got all that good stuff done. Oh, our first chug drink from Comparison Cooking. Get in here. You're drinking with me. Cheers. Cheers. Lit the Mountain Dew. There it is. Cheers. See, Russell from Asbury Rock said, give Dash a good beard scratch for me. Let me get some of that. All right, good. All right.
Real, Russell, it's real.
All right. C-Mac, it's your time to shine, baby. Say hi to the people. Let them know where you're coming from.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? So, CJ, Ken, thanks for letting me be on the show. Really appreciate it. I'm kind of like one of the new kids in town, but I've been following pretty much everybody on this list. Kent, you were talking about followers from 0 to some 100,000. We're just growing with our channel, and I say we're because the Blackstone boys, sometimes known as Blackstreet Boys, right? We've got quite a group in our little town here in New England that kind of fell in love with Blackstone griddle cooking. So I seem to kind of be the guy running all the social media and everything, but there's a bunch of us within this little BSB group out here. But we've all been following y'all and learning from you guys and having fun and whenever I'm not hitting bed early, which unfortunately is most of the time, I'm able to kind of sneak in here and watching y'all on the hot seat. So again, just appreciate. I took a nap earlier. I promised CJ that I was not going to fall asleep yet on the hot seat. So I took a nap earlier, and I'm trying to catch up to y'all because y'all been hitting the jug. I got the mezcal going, so I'm gonna
mezcal.
Work on catching up. And that's me.
Right on. Well, welcome, man. I know we've talked. We had you scheduled for a long time. I'm glad we finally got to that point. Guys, if you're not subscribed to C-Mac and the Blackstone Boys, the links down below. Hit show more, or one of the moderators can throw it in the chat. He's just trying to grow like the rest of us, doing good stuff. Everybody loves a good Blackstone cooking. And let's make sure if one of the moderators can throw it in the chat, that'd be awesome. Real quick, hand me the jug. I want to show off the jug and let everybody see what's in the jug. This is not the jug we've been drinking from thus far, but this is a brand new jug that's going to marinate for tomorrow. So it's going to be good stuff. What's in it? We have sweet and sour orange juice, vodka, tequila, and whatever else we can find in the kitchen. Sure, the jug. I know if any other moderators can throw Alton's link to the jug in the chat, the video they made with Gene and Alton doing it. There it is. Yeah, this thing's heavy. I think it just pulled a muscle. Good Lord. Yeah. Thanks for the super shot, Kevin. Appreciate you, brother. Cookie from Big Cat 305's in there. Real Joey B, the Hungry Hussy. Got all the heavy hitters out tonight. Of course, the Hussy's gonna be out here because we're doing some Blackstone talking. All right, C-Mac, are you ready for these hard-hitting questions?
Let's go.
All right. Ken, are you ready? You look like you're ready over there.
I'm always ready.
Damn right you are. God, you're a good-looking son of a bitch, aren't you? All right. It's there. It's definitely there. All right, C-Mac, where you from? Where you live? Where you reside? Where you grow up? All that good stuff.
All right. So, born and raised in California, the Bay Area, heart of Silicon Valley before it was Silicon Valley. So, lived there pretty much my whole life. Spent about 9 years out in Arizona. I consider that my kind of home away from home. We were just there this last weekend for a lot of debauchery, the Phoenix Open, which is a huge party tournament, golf tournament. I don't even golf. I left half of my liver in the valley, but made it back to colder weather here. We moved out to the North Shore of Massachusetts, kind of right on the border of Mass and New Hampshire about 2.5 years ago. My wife's from out here. And now I am a California boy living in colder weather, trying to figure out seasons and snow. We got snow, we got sleet going on right now. I've learned what things like wintry mix and black ice are. So yeah, been around for a bit. Still a California boy at heart. I talk a lot of smack and CJ, you know this, how in California we grill and smoke and griddle year round, and I'm trying to keep it up out here, although it's it can be a little tough.
Well, I mean, we got someone that handles the snow all the time. Maybe he can give you some tips and tricks up there, Dutch. What do you say?
A good gazebo, you can grill in any weather. I don't care. I snowplow out to my smokers.
Oh yeah,
I'll get the snow out and cut a pass so I can get there. I don't care what the temperature is. I'll smoke year round.
Listen, there's nothing more fun than seeing a snow covered my Big Green Egg snow covered but smoke rolling out the top.
That's gotta be cool.
Yeah.
Well, the where you're from or where you grew up definitely explains the 49er love right there. So I know this Super Bowl was a rough one for you, but it was a good one. These fucking guys. Goddamn Oreo.
I'll give some sexy look over your shoulder there, I'm just saying, but
yeah, he does. He's got that lean in, that eyebrow. Good
right.
Lord.
Yeah, it was Sunday. Sunday was a little rough. It was great until about 10 minutes left.
I'm sorry, C-Mac.
That's okay.
I owe you another hot seat because these guys are gonna fuck this up. All right, so dude, I gotta admit, we're a California family too, so we were pulling for the 49ers too, so it was a little rough, but it was what it was. All right.
The way I look at it, we weren't supposed to be there. We had like a 3% chance making it to the dance, so it was a much better season than anticipated. I'll take it. Something to grow off of,
Yeah, definitely. All right. So I see Chef's in there. Chef Johnny. We'll be hanging out with him tomorrow. Ryan from Risky and Barbecue's in there. I swear to guys, someone's going down like a sweet muffin tonight. All right. Jimmy's in there from Custom Stuff. What's up, brother? All right. Next question. Let's talk about family life. Wife, kids, dog, cat, ferret. What you got?
So I used to have 2 ferrets back in California, but
no one's ever actually answered positively to that.
I know, right? I got been married for about 14 years. Coming up 15 in August. We've got 2 little ones. We were kind of late starters. This is my second time around. I had my starter marriage, and now we've got a 12-year-old boy and Dutch three times. Really?
3 times.
Third time's a charm, baby. Let me tell you.
Impressive.
Third time's a charm on marriages. So there you go, buddy.
Well, I say that I had my starter marriage.
Not for me.
This is my wife's first, so I think I'm her starter marriage. So I don't know where that's going to put me in a few years, but we've got.
There you go.
We got 2 kids. We got a 12-year-old boy and a very precocious 10-year-old girl. Just got her back from basketball practice a few minutes before joining the show. And like I said, the wife is from out here. She was born and raised in Massachusetts. Moved out to the west. Moved out to the west.
Fuck. Oh.
Moved out to the west. And
I owe you an apology.
Brought me back.
All right. All right. So we got a couple more people. Tom Jordan says your wife is hot. So there you go. If she's around, feel free to bring her in and say hi. That's all. Someone noticed the bucket head walking by. C-Mac, I apologize. You'll be on another time, I promise. Dutch, I apologize to you too. I don't know why, but I just did. All right. Before we get to the next question, get out of here. Mary Baker is in there. Mary Baker is one of my moderators. Actually, moderators 2 of my groups now. So there you go. Salty G's in the house. What's going on? I think that kind of catches everybody up in there. $50 super shot prize there. Smoky Joe's Pit Barbecues. I mean, I'm sure Dutch will read that later. All right. What is your real job besides YouTube creator extraordinaire?
So I've been working for the phone company, for AT&T, for about 16 years now. Used to travel a lot, managing call centers, both onshore and international. About 6 months before we moved out here to Massachusetts, I switched jobs, so I hardly ever travel anymore. I kind of miss it, actually, but it's nice living someplace where in the winter the weather gets kind of crazy, and I don't have to worry about leaving, for the airport in a blizzard. But we support call centers and work in a group now that we support call centers from a labor perspective. So I'm with a great company, taking very good care of me. I say that just in case anybody from the company is watching this. And very, very fortunate that now I can work from the house. So we have something here in Massachusetts that I never had in California, and that's a basement. So my wife kicks me down here in my office in the basement every day, and it's just like going to work. Except sometimes I can just come down here in my sweats or my pajamas and take calls all day. So they've been good to me, and it's been a good career. It gives me a little flexibility too to do other things in between calls and not have to worry about commuting to Boston or somewhere else.
I'm with you, man. I work from home quite a bit, and it's the way of the future for sure.
It's a blessing.
Right. Yeah, it is. It is for sure, and that's how I get a lot of filming done.
Yeah,
all right, so before we get to the next question, we got a super shot from the Dawgfatha's barbecue. Lean in there. All right, everybody drink. What the fuck was that? Yes, work is in quotes. Everybody, ever since Dutch put quotes around things when I say work, everybody does it in the chat. All right, so everybody.
Hey, by the way, CJ, it sounds like we sent a little of our weather out there to the Austin area. You guys, a little chilly out tonight?
It freaking snowed last night.
Yep.
They sent the Boston weather out to us. It snowed last night. You believe that shit? In Austin, Texas. All right, so Miss Booger's in the chat. Everybody say hi. Hi, Miss Booger.
Hi, Miss Booger.
All right, there you go. Get the fuck out. All right. People are saying we look alike. Alton, we look alike. I can see the resemblance. Exactly.
Hello.
Hello. All right. All right. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi to Booger. All right, cool. On Facebook, Karen is watching. Karen was one of the her kids were my friends in high school. So hi, Miss Karen. Thank you for being here. All right. Mega Fred's lifetime question. I don't believe he's in the chat. Dutch, you seen him?
No.
All right. Well, we'll ask his question anyway. Mega Fred's question is, what kind of music you enjoy? Do you do any instruments, any bands, anything like that?
So I used to torture my parents when I was growing up, very young, with a guitar. That's pretty much the only experience with an instrument. But I love music, man. Whatever I'm doing, there's got to be music playing, and I will listen to anything. So we have a ranch out in California in the Salinas Valley. I was kind of born and raised a little bit with country music, with old school country music. Had a couple parents that were semi hippies, so a lot of 60s and 70s kind of folk and rock. I played basketball in college, played basketball overseas for a while, and So got into back in the early mid 80s, a lot of rap. So I still listen to a lot of old school rap. Can't stand 99% of the stuff that comes out now. But if I'm up on the deck cooking, I've either got probably some old school rap, I've got 70s rock, or I'm a born and raised parrot head from my dad's side. My dad loved Jimmy Buffett. Took me to Jimmy Buffett concerts, when I was growing up, and just something about listening to that music. By the way, especially when the weather's like this, it kind of like takes me back to sitting on the beach and drinking a margarita or something. So I'll listen to anything but house, EDM, that kind of shit makes my eardrums want to bleed. Everything else, Sinatra to Def Leppard. You name it, but I can't stand house music.
I love me some Sinatra. All right, Carrie from VA Chick just put $9.99. It's not quite a super shot, but I'm gonna take a drink, so I'm thirsty. So thank you. Stephen and Jacqueline in there. What's going on? How you doing, guys? All right, guys. If you have any questions for our guest, please put it to @DaddyDutchBBQ, and he will write them down and read them to our guest. We got Grumpus on fire. How you doing, sir? All right. Channel name, I want to ask about it. I mean, I get the idea of, you guys are all Blackstone fans and all that, but the hashtag with it, what did you kind of work on that one to work it in? Do you think it would, like, social media aspect of it, help it grow like that?
Yeah, I don't know. We, so I kind of like doing a little graphic design on the side. So when we started kind of get into this thing, and I'll take a step back and kind of tell you how we got into all the Blackstones and everything. But when we decided that, we were going to have a little fun with it, kind of put together a little group, and then it kind of morphed into social media, YouTube channel and everything. I wanted to use part of the Blackstone logo. Whoops, where is it? Here. And everything's hashtags these days. So I figured, I wasn't going to be able to fit Blackstone Boys on the logo. It's going to be BSB. We'd throw a little hashtag on it and just have some fun with it. So that's kind of how that started. But stepping back, it was about a year ago. I had actually been looking at different griddles. I've been a long time barbecuer and griller. Got a couple big green eggs. Got Weber's. I've got my La Caja China for my pig roaster, and a buddy of mine out here, and I like to say the co-founder of Blackstone Boys, Dan Ouellette. He went and got a 22-inch little double burner Blackstone, and as I was thinking about getting one, we had a little cook out on the lake, the frozen lake, a hockey game out there. Another thing that, by the way, California knows nothing about, and I'm a big ass dude. I'm 6'10", about 270, and I'll tell you what, walking out on a frozen lake, I don't care how thick that shit is. That'll freak you out a little bit. But he had his 22-inch out there, and we had a bunch of people. Kids were playing hockey. He was cooking breakfast, and I said, "Oh shit, this thing's kind of fun." And got one and got hooked. And listen, I still love to smoke meat and grill, but there's something about kind of being your own little short order chef, right? Yeah. The smoking thing, the science of it, and the the trimming your cut and rubbing and injecting, all that stuff. But once you get it on, then it's a waiting game, right?
Yeah.
And the fun thing about Blackstones, you really got to have everything kind of prepped and ready to go when you fire that sucker up, because you're going to go about 1,000,000 miles an hour cooking, and it's just a whole different type of cooking, and it's I think it's a little addictive. Hussey, if you're still on, you know the drill. But it was fun, and so in our little town, so we live in a little Amesbury, Massachusetts, about 17,000 people, little river running through it. Dutch, come on, it's beautiful. And so
that had nothing to do with UC Mac. Russell's making me laugh in the chat.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but we've now got at least 20 guys here in kind of our little circle here in town that have got at least one, if not multiple Blackstones. So as it kind of caught fire, we talked about putting this little group together through a Facebook page together, started, ordering some gear, and we just kind of had some fun with it. We've been able to cook at a couple events in our town. We listen, there's in terms of from a YouTube perspective, again, we're new at this. We're having fun. I think I've only got, 24 videos up or something, but there's so many, just like in the barbecue world, right? There's so many guys doing great stuff out there. Same thing, Hussey and everybody else, great stuff on the griddles. We want to try to kind of do something a little bit different. So having our group, one of the things that we wanted to do was, kind of multiple Blackstone cooks. And so we're trying to get as many times as we get 5, a dozen Blackstones together and do some videos there. But, we're just kind of having fun with it. And again, this whole YouTube thing is a little new for us. We've been doing it less than a year, but that's why I kind of watch all y'all and learn from it. A couple weeks ago when you had Comparison Cooking on, I'll tell you what, I was taking notes. He had some great tips. And that's kind of the fun of this and what you guys have really, I think, created, right? These groups and the YouTube lives. It's fun. It's a fun community. It's a welcoming community, especially again for those of us that are kind of new. And again, so appreciate y'all. Oh, one other thing. So I just saw Shane's name up here. The other thing that I think is a lot of fun are the collabs. So the first one that we were able to take part in was Shane's the Cooking Against Cancer. And then we just did the Ultimate Blackstone burger. So that kind of stuff is like right up my alley and our alley. A lot of fun. I think it brings people together. So for you guys that are doing that stuff and sharing, listen, it doesn't go unnoticed, and we appreciate it. A lot of fun.
Right on. All right. So how many members are in the group? Is there like an official count or just whoever's around you?
That's a good question. I've kind of lost track. I mean, in our town, we've got at least now 20 guys with Blackstones. Nice. But we've also got, Johnny Maggs and Messy Mike just up north from us. They're listen, as far as I'm concerned, they're part of the group. So we'll take all comers. Jeff, Northeast Beast, he's got his Blackstone. He's not too far away from us. So, listen, everybody's welcome. We're hoping to get the folks from Blackstone out here. They've shown a little bit of interest, but we're hoping to get them out here for a big cook. I do a big barbecue every year that I've done for now 15 years, and thinking about kind of bringing Blackstone into what we call C-Max Riverfest barbecue. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, just a lot of fun.
Cool. All right, we just got a super
out of jail and semi-sober.
Out of the jail. I love it. Semi-sober. What's the point?
Right.
All right, so we got a super shot in there from Carrie via Off-Road Chick. So cheers, thank you. All right, Alton's coming in for the super shot. I heard it. Dash is drinking his from afar. Yeah, exactly. All right, so before I send it over to Dutch, I want to shout out to people in the chat. I saw Jackie's Q said F you, CJ. Well, F you too, and thank you for watching. Mr. Tom Horsman's in the chat. Shane, you mentioned Shane. Thomas from Michigan. Enzo is in there. Son of a pizza man. Big Rob D's in the house. Haven't seen Big Rob D in a long time. Good to see you. Texas made food. How you guys doing? Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Dutch, do you got Any questions ready to line up?
Nope.
Hey, real quick, because I'm looking at the comments. Just I don't want to step on your toes, but Raspberry Rock. Have I ever been mistaken for Shaquille O'Neal? Only in the shower.
Only in the shower. Fair enough. That's a good comment right there. I was gonna say Kent's gonna pin slip you for looking in the chat, which you should not be doing, C-Mac. But
he was told that this morning.
Yep, you were told. All right.
Read it out. I'm telling you.
I'm not good at following directions, Ken.
You're not. You can tell you're not good at following directions, I'm sure. All right. Dutch, you got something, I'm sure.
Get away. Go take a break or something.
I'm going to go stretch my legs.
Back with you being 5 inches taller than me, there's nothing short about you being a short order cook. I'm going to tell you that right now.
True that.
All right. First thing I have a little bit of advice for you, and it comes from your buddy Johnny Maggs up the road.
Uh-oh. This can't be good.
Whatever you do not pull a messy mic tonight.
I'm not sure what that means, but knowing Mike, I could imagine.
Okay, a little backstory. A little better than a year ago when we had John and Mike on in the after show, which unfortunately there is no tape or video of. During the show, Mike's drinking beer and slugging down Gentleman Jack. In the after show, Mike faceplants. Johnny Maggs yells, down goes Frazier. And we had to make sure he was all right. It was epic. There was only the four of us in there at the time. It's too bad more people didn't get to see it. So,
that
doesn't
surprise me at all.
What's that?
Doesn't surprise me at all.
No. Okay. Let's see. Where do we start? Let's get a Pickles out of the way real quick here. Pickles Barbecue wants to know, what is the favorite thing to cook on on your Blackstone, and what's your biggest fail ever on the Blackstone?
Ooh. So I'll kind of do that reverse. So I mean, listen, I've had a bunch of fails. I think the Blackstone, because you're cooking so hot and so fast. If you're used to grilling and barbecuing, there's definitely some ramp up time. So I always tell people when I burn the shit out of their food accidentally, that it's Cajun style. It's just blackened. It's not burnt. But there were plenty of things that I burned the shit out of at the beginning. So, that's my warning to folks that go get Blackstones first. Start that heat a little bit lower, because it does get hot real quick. Favorite thing to cook? I like doing different stuff on the Blackstone. You'll see some stuff on our channel that are a little bit different that you wouldn't think that you normally could. Now, it's not Lep stuff. I haven't thrown a brisket on my Blackstone yet. I still bow down to him for a Blackstone brisket, but we try to do different stuff. Probably favorite thing, though, I mean, a lot of Chinese food, right? Fried rice, chow mein, that kind of stuff, because you can just do a shitload of it, and it lasts for the week. The kids like it. My wife likes it. My wife's a vegetarian, by the way, so I don't, I got to keep the pork out of hers. But I think those are probably my favorite thing, because it's quick and easy, and it's freaking good. And I can't do that on my smokers. The rice tends to fall through the grate, so.
The rice falls through the grates. Oh, that's awesome. What the hell was that distortion, CJ?
You got me, homeboy. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
That made my ear pop out, though.
Yeah, I saw that. My speaker's about.
The aliens took over.
All right. Let's see. Sticking with the Blackstone predominantly here, and then we do have a couple barbecue questions for you also.
All right.
Jimmy from Cuff and Stuff, what is one cook you do that you can't seem to get just right?
Listen, I think brisket. I think brisket is one of the toughest things to cook. You can cook 100 briskets and they're all freaking different, right? And I think they're fairly unforgiving. If you can do the same thing with pork butts, and it's kind of hard to fuck it up. Brisket, which is one of my favorite things to cook, I think is probably also one of the toughest. That's I do it the same way. I'm a big fan of, speaking of Austin, I'm a big Aaron Franklin fan, and try to replicate, from the salt and pepper to, the wrap and everything else. And I'll tell you, it's sometimes I thought I got that dialed in and it ends up dry. So, which is also a big disappointment after, cooking a big ass brisket and looking forward to eating it for the next few days. And, it comes out dry. But I think personally, I think brisket is the toughest.
All right. Fries, French fries on the Blackstone, epic or not?
Listen, the fun thing about it is fries, tater tots, that kind of stuff. You can get frozen, open up a bag, throw it on with some oil. I throw a little rub on it, and they come out fantastic. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not a good question, but I don't know if I would ever equate epic with fries. But it's fries. We talk about steaks or something else. Let's talk about epic. I don't know if fries are epic, but they're good. Yeah, they're good.
I like making them on there. It's so damn easy.
And that's the thing, right? It's you heat it up, you throw on some oil, throw it on with a little, your favorite rub, and they are. And that's, it's easy, it's convenient. And you can cook on my 36, I can cook a ton of food on it, and have food practically for the week. And the kids like it.
Yeah, well, that's important, getting the kids eating it. So, all right, let's see. Okay, we know you have the 22-inch Blackstone, right?
I do.
Okay. And you also have the big green egg.
I've got so right now, currently in my cooking arsenal, or my outdoor cooking arsenal, I've got a extra large big green egg. Bought that about a year and a half, 2 years before I moved out here. Was, by the way, the only thing that I was really concerned about on the move. You can break my big screen TV, whatever else. I was freaking out about the egg, and I made sure they wrapped it nicely. They got it out here. I watched them roll it across the deck, and when we unwrapped it, wouldn't you know it, that son of a bitch had a little hairline crack on the base. So one of the great things about big green egg, and I was never a big green egg guy originally, but one of the big great things about it is they got a phenomenal warranty program. So within a couple of days, I found a dealer out here. They did a warranty return, had me a new base within 48 hours, and I was good. So XL big green egg. I've got a Mini Max big green egg. I've got the 22-inch Blackstone. I've got a 36-inch Pro Blackstone. I've got the La Caja China, the pig roaster, and I had a 36-inch, a regular 36-inch Blackstone that I got on the cheap when Walmart was blowing them out at the end of the season for $100, and actually just sold that to a neighbor for her husband's birthday. So we gained. I was net on that deal, but we gained a new member of BSB. So
there you go. The more the merrier, right?
Absolutely.
Back in your videos, you guys did a cook.
Yeah.
Where you took that burger and flipped it from Blackstone to Blackstone. How many was that again? I don't remember the exact count.
So if I remember right, so this was a camping trip that I think it was 42 couples from Amesbury, from, again, our little town here. It was in New Hampshire or Maine. I think it was New Hampshire. My first time there. They've been doing this trip for years, but a bunch of, again, this group was participating in that. And so our goal was for everybody to bring the Blackstone. So we had, most of them were 22s. We had 1 or 2 36 inches, but we had 11 Blackstones that we flipped that burger patty from Blackstone to Blackstone, lined them up, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember I was watching that, and I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing?
There may have been, Dutch, a small amount of drinking for the majority of that day, if not the 3 days before that as well. So that goes hand in hand with Blackstoning. A lot of good drinking.
Well, yeah, it tends to go together. All right. So as far as offsets. So before we moved out here, I actually had more smokers. Like I said, I got the Big Green Egg not too long after I moved out here, but I had a great, it was kind of a hand-me-down from a buddy that had left it at my house from multiple Riverfest barbecues. A great Oklahoma Joe offset smoker, which was beat to shit, but probably one of my favorite things to cook on. Had a couple of vertical smokers, had an old Weber Smoky Mountain. I had a whole bunch of stuff, and it just got, when you move, especially when you move cross country, it's a great opportunity to purge things. And at that point, I had my Big Green Egg, which, by the way, when I got that, it was kind of out of curiosity. I went down to the Big Green Egg store and was talking to the guy, and I said, listen, I'm not looking for anything to replace all the stuff that I've got. Here's what I have. But, people are kind of passionate about these Big Green Eggs. I kind of want to find out more about them. He goes, well, what I'll tell you is if you get one, it will probably replace a lot of what you're cooking on. And I'll tell you what, man, he was right. I do like I do like cooking still on a traditional smokers, and I'll probably get another offset. I've got a couple buddies out here that have trailer rigs that I would really like to get. But as of right now, I mean, there's not much that I can't do between the Big Green Eggs. If I want to do something really big, if I want to do a pig, I got the LeprakonTV. There's nothing that I can't do with what I got. So, I'm also in the position that probably a lot of y'all have been in, that if I get too many more griddles or smokers, then I may be on number 3. So I'm trying to stick with just number 2. That's funny. Number 3 is the reason I have most of it. Speaking of the LeprakonTV,
yeah,
Jeff at Northeast LaFoe wants to know, how big a pig can you do on that?
So the one that I've got, you can do a 110-pound pig. I think the largest I've done is 67, which I've done for a party, and it's granted, we had a lot of other food, but it's a pretty good size hog. But yeah, I think 110 pounds is the supposedly the max for the one that I have. But I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun cooking those too. It's, not many of us can dig a hole in our backyard, so it's a great alternative. By the way, I just want to shout out to, again, my wife. She's upstairs. She won't join us, but my vegetarian wife actually got that for me for Christmas. I want to say about 7-8 years ago. So Even though she won't eat what I cook in terms of meat, she supports my my habit. But they're a lot of fun, man. I can cook a 80-pound hog in 5 hours without having to dig a hole in my backyard, and it's crispy skin and dialed in, just beautiful. They're a lot of fun, and that's a fun party cook too.
Oh yeah, I have a whole hog cooker with a rotisserie.
Oh yeah,
and that'll handle up to 240.
Yeah, that's a big ass pig.
Yeah, well, that's the way they grow them around here.
That's an Iowa pig, baby.
Oh yeah. One quick question for you, Keith Bettag put it in the comments. You were talking about the big green egg. He says, my sister has a big green egg that I use all the time. Ask him, how the hell do I get the temp up on that thing?
Well, you shouldn't have any problem getting the temp up. If you're having a problem getting the temp up, you may want to clean it up. Something is, you've got ash clogging up the airflow. Usually the problem is people will leave the vents open too long and get it too hot, and then it takes forever to get it back down. Right. But you can never have a problem when I reverse sear, I'll do a steak for, get it to about 115, 120 at, roasted at 250 or 225, 250. I'll open up the vents, pull out the plate setter, which is the little barrier for doing it. And it'll get up to, I'll get up to 800, 900 degrees in minutes. I mean, quick. And then you're never going to get back down. But getting it up to temp, that shouldn't be a problem. So that's usually, you got some ash. It just needs to be cleaned. You got some ash stuffing up the vents and the, in between the firebox.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it has to be totally to do with airflow.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Absolutely.
All right. Smoking Joe's Pet Barbecue wants to know, if money was no object, what kind of cooker or smoker are you getting, C-Mac?
Man, I definitely get a, some kind of a trailer rig, the Lang smokers or something like that. That would probably be where I'd go if money was no object. Yeah, there's some pretty pits out there, and I got a couple buddies out here that do catering. We got a guy out here, Clay, does Big Rig Barbecue, huge. Shout out to Clay. You can check him out on his website, but he's got he's a metal fabricator, so he basically fabbed his whole rig. I mean, it's a huge. All he needs to do is pull it in front of a plate. He does pop-ups all the time, but I think something like that would be a blast. That's something along those lines. Is my retirement plan. Is merging. I think that's what everybody wants to do, right? Is merging your passion into what you do for a living. And although, again, shout out to AT&T, great company, but listen, if I can get paid making some barbecue and I had some time in the restaurant business years ago, and that's kind of where I got my foodie background. That a cooker like that would kind of help get that kicked off.
That's for sure. I don't know if you saw Red's Barbecue and Pizzeria, the trailer he had done. It's got every bell and whistle on that thing. So
yeah. So listen, some of them are incredible. We went to Memphis in May last year. Buddy from college that actually was a guy that I kind of really started grilling with. And we had been talking about meeting out there for years. He lives in Arkansas now, and see some of the setups out there. We were able to spend a little time in Big Mo Quezon's area. I mean, there was just sick setups out there.
Big Mo, another Iowa guy right there.
That's right. Great. By the way, great freaking guy. So, quick story. We're going, from spot to spot, kind of, checking out guys that we have always kind of admired. So I'm 6'10" again. My buddy's 6'8". We played ball in college together, and we went over to Mo's. And we were watching him, and he kind of looks back and took a double take, and he goes, "Holy shit, you guys need to come in here." So somebody named Big Mo, and he's got a couple of guys that were kind of dwarfing him. Super nice guy. The team was awesome, and we were able to have a couple of beers with those guys and spend some time watching them work. It was fantastic.
How tall do you think Big Mo is? See, Matt?
Is he about 6'3", maybe 6'4"? He was just a little fella.
I went to school with his first cousin Marvin, so that's how I knew Mo before he was Big Mo.
Just Little Mo.
Yeah.
Well, we called him Little Mo.
Yeah.
But really good guy.
Yes, he is. So, all right, CJ is getting bored over there. I'm going to let him ask a few more questions before he passes out. I got a few more fun ones for you later, C-Mac.
All right, good deal. I'm still going strong. I need to drink this, though, so can somebody hook a brother up?
That's right. C-Mac just said, can someone hook a brother up? I love that. All right, someone put a shot in there for all right, before I take back over, I would like to acknowledge a few more people that jumped in the chat. We have Backwoods Gourmet Channel in there, Hog Therapy, Uncle Steve Shake, who I've been going back and forth with in there, Smokehouse Barbecue, Ms. Blackstone, Betty Desiree's in there, Cypress Blue, Laura's in there. Welcome, everybody. And we're going to do this real quick. I think I did it right. Maybe or not. Fuck. I did not do it right. Son of a bitch. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Oh, please. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. I'm trying to do the thing that I do. One sec. Almost. Wait for it. Open. Wait. Are you waiting? Are you guys like anticipating the awesomeness that's going to happen?
It must be something good.
There it is.
There it is, baby. Where's it?
There's the logo. There he is. All right. Sorry, I actually had put that together, and I forgot to upload it until I had time to think because Dutch put me in the corner. So that's what he does. He puts baby in the corner. All right. So, there's a bunch of little questions I ask about the channels and what's keep you on the grind and all that jazz. But obviously, you guys are pretty new to the channel, to the YouTube game and all that. But is there an end result for you? Are you looking to make this, kind of a career type thing, or is this fun with your buddies? And if you get a check from Google every once in a while, you'll be good to go.
Yeah. So CJ, that's a great question. So obviously, we're not making any kind of money off of this right now. We're just kind of having some fun. I think if something kind of takes off and it grows, absolutely, that would be fun. I have a blast with social media, whether it's kind of my personal accounts or Blackstone Boys, do a couple other things. So, if this is like a learning experience for me and for us right now, like I said before, I just try to soak up everything that y'all do and learn from it. Everything that we do in terms of editing for our videos and filming it, it's all self-taught or watching you guys, right?
Right.
Try to take a little bit from everybody and then kind of put our own spin on it to be hopefully a little bit different. But so right now it's, we're just having a blast with it. We love to cook. We love to We love to host events and parties. And if it turns out that it rolls into something that we can make some money off of, hey, all good. Listen, I'm not going to close any doors. But right now it's just been a lot of fun, and I'm sorry that I'm making Dutch yawn, but it's all good.
It's not that, trust me.
Dutch has been breathing all day. He's tired. All right.
When you're sitting here watching all these comments go by, it gets you a little sleepy.
I know. Now, Dutch, you got me paranoid. Now I'm like trying not to look at them, and I'm getting in trouble.
Not look at the comments. All right, Beer Chat Barbecues in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing? All right. Is there, being that you've been using the Blackstone so much, I'm concentrating on the Blackstone cooking because obviously that's what your channel is and all that. And I know you like the big green egg, and you do smoking, and that pig cooker is just something awesome to me. I'd love to see one of those in action. But is there just a signature dish for you to cook on the Blackstone that everybody calls you for? Like, hey, buddy, we're gonna watch a game. Get something on that Blackstone for us. Anything like that? Not
you know what? I mean, I think the best. So far, CJ, I think it's like brunch.
Yeah.
I mean, it is freaking hard to go wrong with throwing together a big brunch party, and the Blackstone. So again, we do a lot of events where there's a bunch of us together, and whether it's here at my house, out at the lake, wherever else, we got 5, 7, 9 Blackstones together. And so we try to kind of coordinate it. So, all right, C-Max got the eggs, Dano's doing the, breakfast potatoes, Ray's doing this, Mike's doing this. So I would say that, listen, it doesn't get much better than throwing a shitload of bacon on and eggs and breakfast potatoes. And, I mean,
100% agree. 100%.
And you got to have your Bloody Marys, right? But I would say that that's probably we're waiting. So we haven't had much of a winter out here. Again, we're getting a little wintry mix and stuff, but we're waiting for the next big hit and snow day. I think the very first cook we ever did with multiple Blackstones was here at my house up on my deck. We had, I think, 6 22s together, all doing a big kind of late breakfast, early lunch. It was a snow day, so we had all the kids over. They were sledding in the backyard. And so I think that's it's, breakfast and brunch is money on these things.
Yeah, and I think that's what most people, their first cook on the Blackstone is a nice breakfast. And I season mine up with sausage, like breakfast sausage, cook some eggs, right? The first thing you do, I'm with you 100% on that. Smash burgers, breakfast, it's all good stuff right there.
I'll tell you, first time I ever cooked a smash burger was on the Blackstone. And, listen, for years you've been taught, put your meat on the grill, don't smash it, right? Because you don't want to get all the fat out of it.
Lose all the juice.
People freak out about smash burgers, but they're legit. Yep.
All right, so Brother Thyron is in there from TNT Barbecue. What's up, my man? How you doing? My wife is texting me as she's standing 2 feet away from me. All right, let's see here. I saw you got that mezcal. Is that your go-to drink?
I don't know. It seems to me my go-to drink lately. I do like a nice smoky mezcal, but I'm a vodka martini guy. I'm a Captain and Coke guy. I do like a good tequila and a good mezcal though. But no, if I like to indulge in most of the alcoholic substances.
adult beverages in life. I understand for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. I added this question to the list, and it cracks me up every time I look down and ask it. But zombie apocalypse happens. What's the first thing you grab from your kitchen, and where do you go?
Wow.
And knife is too easy. Don't say knife.
First thing I grab from the kitchen if a zombie apocalypse happens. So I mean, I guess this is kind of a no-brainer. I've got a nice big ass cleaver. If I'm on the hurry to get out, I got to have a cleaver. By the way, I was a big Walking Dead fan up until the point where Rick was done. So love zombie shit, but so I have to have a cleaver. Where would I go? Man, I'll tell you what. I think again, you'd have to find a nice little island somewhere that I can just fucking chill at. Just me, the family, and my cleaver, I guess.
Your cleaver. And you'll cut stuff and make your own Blackstone.
I wasn't prepared for that answer. I could have thought something better, but
chilling and grilling with Rob D said Tijuana. There you go.
TJ.
No one's going to Tijuana. Even the freaking zombies. All right.
Good memories of TJ though, back in the day.
Memories. All right. Let's see here. If Hollywood were to make a movie about your channel or yourself, or your life, and this is a play all with everybody in the chat, who would play C-Mac from Hollywood? Not Shaquille O'Neal. So don't put that.
Who would play C-Mac? Geez, that's a good question. So, listen, being 6'10", besides the smart asses that, say, they remind them of Shaquille O'Neal, Manute Bol, all that kind of bullshit. Listen, it's hard saying, I don't remind them of George Clooney, right? So, find somebody that'll play me. Jeez. All right.
Big Rome. Farrell.
Let me think about that one for a second.
Miley Cyrus.
Bill Walton from the Celtics.
Who?
Bill Walton, the big white guy.
Walton, yeah.
So I used to hate Bill Walton, and then I kind of came to like him a little bit because he's just so fucking wacky. Yeah. Oh, but see, here's the deal. Our games for those basketball fans that may be here, and I did out of the corner of my eye. I wasn't looking, but I happened to see it. Somebody was asking, what's my best post move? So I was an early version. I was, for those of you that know, like Tony Kukoc, I was 6'10". Now when I played ball, I was about 50 pounds lighter. In college, I was 6'10", about 210, and so I played 3-man. I played small forward. When I played in Brazil, I lived and played in Brazil for a while. I played big guard and small forward. So I was an outside shooter at 6'10". I was a little bit ahead of my time in terms of Ken, are you turning off my comments? I did notice that. I was a little ahead of my time. But see, the Bill Walton, he was a post player. That was never my game. I was young and thin, and I could jump out of the gym. But I know we got way off your question, CJ, and thanks for the mezcal for that. But it was look at Dutch's back of his head.
Dutch is.
Well, I'm not needed here. You're reading the chat, so I'm just.
No, I'm not. It just got the side of my eye. I'm not reading it anymore. But Bill. But any of the center comparisons never got. Never were kind of dialed in for me.
So you're more like a Reggie Miller.
So I played against Reggie Miller in college. So Reggie was a senior at UCLA when I was a junior at Santa Clara University. We played them at Pauley Pavilion over the Christmas break, and I got a technical because Reggie and I were throwing elbows running down the court, and the refs were always kissing his ass because they knew he was a lottery player. And but yes, I played against Reggie Miller. For those of you that are old enough and remember old guys like us.
Oh yeah, I was thinking.
By the way, Kent, how's this? So you'll get a kick out of this, Kent. So we went to the NCAAs when I was a junior at Santa Clara. We were 16th seed. We played a number 1 seed, coached by Dr. Tom Davis.
Oh shit!
In Iowa. So let me here. How about this? Jerry Sir Dunk-a-Lot Wright. Oh geez, I'm forgetting. Brad Lowhouse was their starting center, who was a 3-point shooting center.
Lowhouse Wright was at this team with Steve, point guard.
I'm not even. I don't remember what their point guard was, but I'm blanking out on their 2 biggies. One of them has since passed away.
Well, Lowhouse also played with Les Jepson.
Yeah.
Big Whitey.
Yep. But they were I think the number 2 team in the country at that point. They were number 1 seed in the region. We were 16. My old coach at Santa Clara has a great picture. So we played them at University of Arizona. The big hanging scoreboard. My coach had a picture of Santa Clara 8, Iowa 0. We scored the first 8 points. We didn't score again until it was 24-8. They threw a press on us, and our guards lost their mind, and they ended up beating us by 20. But it was a great experience.
And that would have been what year?
That was 87.
Right. That's the year we got beat by UNLV in the Final Four.
Yep.
I know that.
Well, that question took in a crazy long time, and it had nothing to do with your answer. Ended up having nothing to do with the question, but that's all right. I wanted you to talk. I wanted you to keep going. Go ahead.
There we go.
All right. Well, since you said you spend quite a bit of time watching YouTube, let's talk about 3 channels you watch: 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be bigger.
Wow. Listen, most, if not everybody that's kind of on, your channel, I watch. Big Cat, Alton. I don't want to name her because I'll forget somebody. But I try to pick up a little bit from everybody. So there's nobody that I don't watch. I got to try to be better because most of you guys are really good at commenting on stuff. I always hit a like at a very minimum, but I got to get in there and comment. Kitchen Queers, I'll tell you what, I watch them on the hot seat. They're hilarious. They're
one of my favorite guests for sure.
Yeah, there's just so many great channels out there. Gallery Backyard Barbecue, Tommy. I follow a lot, even the ones that aren't as active on YouTube, but maybe more active on Instagram. Same thing. Some of them just are phenomenal on maybe not doing the videos, but capturing pictures of what they're cooking. So all those different types of media. What's the now I'm blanking out on the guy's name that not tacos guys. Sam
the cooking guy.
Yeah,
Sam the cooking guy.
I love Sam the cooking guy. I think he is. I was watching one of his videos earlier that he had a little live thing that he did with his wife. But I think that guy, his personality, it just cracks the shit out of me. And obviously I think his son does all the production, but does some great stuff. What was the last part of your question, CJ?
One you watch that's big, one that's small, and one you think should be bigger.
One that I think should be bigger. Jeez, I don't know. Listen, well, I'm not sure. I'm in the position to judge who should be bigger and who should be not. We're small. We're having fun. Do I wish we were bigger? Sure. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want more subscribers and everything?
Right.
But I'll tell you, there's some fantastic folks out there doing some great stuff that maybe don't have the subscribers, whether that's they don't have the time or they're not pumping it out, whatever else. And maybe some of them don't give a shit how many subscribers they have. They're just doing it for fun. So again, I don't know if again, I'm probably not the one to judge who should have more subscribers. I think if you're doing something that you're passionate about, which I think we all are, barbecuing, grilling, griddling, whatever else, that's all that matters, and if people are enjoying watching you and they subscribe, fantastic. By the way, follow that link and hit the button for me, please. All right.
One of the moderators, feel free to put his link to his channel so he give you the one that should be bigger.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't want to say me, that's kind of,
you know what? People should say themselves more often. All right. I saw a question from Big Rome. He asked if I'm outside. Yeah, I'm at Brother Alton's house in Pflugerville, Texas. Tomorrow we're going to do a big cook here. A lot of people are going to be here. There's going to be some lives, so just keep an eye out for the alerts and
wait.
Time tomorrow. It's going to be fun. All right. If you could cook with anybody in history, alive or dead, who would it be?
Wow. So I touched on it earlier. It would probably be Aaron Franklin. I mean, I think not only does he seem like just a down to earth dude, but I love what he does. I haven't. It's been years since I've been able to get out there, but I think he just does a great barbecue. And by the way, I had an opportunity. When I was in the restaurant business. I worked for Wolfgang Puck, so I worked for one of the one of the most famous celebrity chefs out there. But from a barbecue perspective and something that I'm really passionate about, it'd probably be Aaron Franklin.
Right on. That's a fair answer right there. All right. Not that we wish that you fall ill or end up on death row, but what would your last meal be?
Oh man, you know what? I think it would be something simple. I love a good steak. Give me a good ribeye, perfectly cooked, medium rare ribeye, steak and potatoes, maybe some asparagus, maybe throw some shrimp on the side. But to me, there's nothing like a good old ribeye. We did a couple of cooks when I was in Scottsdale this last weekend, and we didn't have anything to cook on but the gasser out there. But we cooked up some steaks, and for me, it doesn't get better.
You can make fine ribeyes on a gasser too. I know that's sacrilege to a lot of people in the chat, but I'm with you. Ribeyes, big old baked potato with more butter than you'll ever need.
Yep.
Maybe some lobster, some fried shrimp, something like that. Dude, I'm with you, brother.
And a big old bottle of fat cab that's so big that makes your enamel feel like it's kind of just falling off your teeth. That's my meal right there.
I'm with you, man. And the winery has to be Justin Winery. That is. I
love a Justin. Nothing wrong with Justin.
That's the J and CJ. So every wine I buy is Justin wine.
Nice. Yeah, one of my favorite wineries.
Yep. All right. Last question, then we'll send it to Dutch, and then I'll ask my last question. Who would be on your personal Mount Rushmore? 4 people you love and admire.
Man.
She could be one of them. Mrs. Dawgfatha could be one of them. And Dash.
Well, duh. You know what? So
lobster.
So my parents have both passed. My mom passed about 16 years ago. My dad passed. My father. One of the reasons that we're out here in New England is my father and my wife's father passed within about 2 months of each other, just about 4.5 years ago. And you know, listen, I don't know if I'm different than anybody else, but I would say I would reserve 2 of those spaces for my parents, because they were both, especially from what they went through when they were sick and when each other were sick. They're definitely a couple of my heroes. Not to get, you know, all soppy and shit, but
hey, if we can get somebody to cry on cue, dude, like we made Miss Bigger cry. Guys, this isn't Mrs. CJ.
yeah.
This is Alton's wife. This is Jean. This
So
is
those
just standing over by the fire because she's cold as hell.
yeah, I bet.
It is cold out here.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
All right, so
you know, listen, those are 2. I don't know. You can put anybody else in the other 2. It don't matter. But those are my 2 heroes in life.
Put your wife on there. Be that guy. Don't be that guy. Put your wife up there.
Absolutely, that's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. There you go. Attaboy. All right, Dutch, you got any questions for our man here?
Yeah, I got a couple more here. So hold on, I'm just taking care of a little business here. There you go. All right. Let's see. Pickles wants to know, what is the most unusual thing you've ever cooked on your Blackstone?
What's so I think probably the 2 most unusual things, not that they're super unusual, but they're probably unusual, again, to cook on a Blackstone. And Lep, I know that, you know, your ears are perking up because you did the brisket, but I love bone marrow, roasted bone marrow, which I cook on the Big Green Egg all the time. I wanted to try that out on the Blackstone, so I did bone marrow cook. I don't know, over the summer, and used the hood on the 22 to kind of get a little oven thing going to kind of roast it. So I think that's fairly unusual for a Blackstone. The other thing is, so being out in New England, right? A lot of seafood, clams and lobster and everything else. I wanted to be able to do a seafood cook, kind of a traditional seafood cook. Now, I didn't have the seaweed to be able to put on the clams. So we took a wet towel and kind of mimicked that with some clams on the Blackstone. Came out fantastic. So that's kind of one of the things. And so, Dutch, I'm glad you asked that question. I like, again, the stuff that you can, you know, the breakfasts and the you know, fried rice and chow mein, all that stuff is great. And you can, you know, search for that on YouTube and see a million different videos of everybody doing fried rice and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to try to, again, Lep, appreciate you. I want to try to do something a little bit different and have some fun with it and see how, you know, some clams turn out, see how some bone marrow turns out. So those are probably the 2 things that I've done recently on it that's a little bit different than you would probably think of doing on a flat top griddle. By the way, I think both of those we've got on video. If not, I don't know if the bone marrow's there, but I think the others there. So
right. Let's see. After Pickles, we have Shane. Who is your favorite golfer of all time, C-Mac?
So Shane, I'm not a golfer. I'm probably one of the few of my basketball buddies that didn't fall into golf, and mostly because at the time I kind of got out of basketball. I didn't have the time or probably even the money to pick up golf and get addicted to that, which I thought I was going to with the rest of my buddies. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I like I was talking about earlier, we went to Scottsdale I've got a place out in Scottsdale. We went there last weekend, took 7 of my buddies from Amesbury for the Waste Management Phoenix Open, which, by the way, if any of y'all, if you're golf fans, or even if you're not, it is do a couple of searches. It's the biggest party in the Valley every year. I mean, even if you don't care about golf, it's a freak show out there. And I was there when I lived there years ago. I was on the 16th hole. Shane, if you're a golf fan, I was on the 16th hole when Tiger hit his hole-in-one, and the place went batshit crazy. This year, and I don't know how many years they've been doing it now, but they've got a huge 4-story pavilion that encompasses the entire 16th hole. Players come in through a tunnel. This year, a couple of the players, Tony Finau. So maybe I'll answer your question kind of in a roundabout way. I think Tony Finau was my favorite golfer, at least this year. He came in, donned a Kobe jersey, which, by the way, I'm not a Lakers fan, and I was really never a Kobe fan, but I think that, that whole disaster kind of touched a lot of us. But he threw on that Kobe jersey, and the place went batshit crazy when he came through. And but it's a party out there. So if y'all happen to if you're golfers, if you love that kind of stuff, get out to the Waste Management Open in Phoenix. It's a party. It's like a club party that a golf tournament breaks out in. But so Shane, I guess Tony Finau, right now, he was my favorite. He had fun with the crowd. He had a great tournament up until that sudden death playoff. But I'm not a golfer. I went out there and had a lot of fun.
All right, next question. Kris from La Familia wants to know, do you ever brine your brisket, C-Mac?
So I have never brined my brisket. I've brined a lot of stuff. So personally, cooking on the big green egg, because it keeps everything very, very moist. It's got a seal. It keeps everything very, very moist. I don't think you need to brine that much when you cook on a big green egg. So that's personally the reason that I've done a couple of turkeys. I normally brine my turkeys, but I've never brined a brisket. I'd be interested to see, and I have seen some people that brined or injected their brisket. I've just never done it. And maybe that's why, maybe sometimes when my brisket doesn't come out the way that I wanted to, maybe if I brined it would have come out better. But I'm kind of a simpleton when it comes to brisket. I go salt and pepper, maybe a little garlic powder, maybe a little paprika. But I've never injected a brisket. I've never brined a brisket. I'll inject my pork butts. I'll hit it with a little mustard to get to adhere the rub. But the only thing I've really brined is I've brined some chickens. I've brined some turkeys. That's it in terms of brining for me.
All right.
I'm not against it. Listen, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes your cook come out best. I'm not going to say one way is better than the other, but how many? I'd be interested to see. Not that I'm going to look at the chat over here, Dutch, but I'd be interested to see how many people have brined a brisket, and if that's their go-to.
I don't think a lot do, and as far as traditional brisket, I don't think a lot of guys do. I mean, I inject, but I use Butcher's Barbecue Blend, their prime brisket injection. I really like that. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably inject before I brine.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of nopes, nevers, and I don't brine beef in the chat.
I wouldn't know because I'm not looking at it.
Good job. Good job. I'm proud of you. It took an hour and a half to get there, but damn it, we got you there.
I'm a slow learner.
All right. Couple things from Johnny Maggs. He wants you to talk about your Fireball, brown sugar and cinnamon pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
And also the slot dogs.
The slot. Okay. So, So one of our favorite things to do, I kind of forgot about those. So appreciate it, Mags. We've done kind of marinated pineapple a couple different ways on the Blackstone. And usually it was for some events that we were doing. In fact, went on the Pit Life podcast and brought some of the Blackstone pineapple. But so we'll marinate the little cubes of pineapple in Fireball overnight. Throw them on the Blackstone. Start caramelizing them. Throw a little brown sugar. I hit it with a little bit of cayenne for a kick, and just cook those suckers up, and they're pretty damn good. So we've got at least one video doing those, a little quick video doing those. We also did a little take on those with a margarita pineapple bites, and marinated them in tequila, a little Patron overnight, and threw them on with some triple sec and little margarita salt. And those came out fantastic too. And we did a chili cook-off here in Amesbury and used those as a little VIP taster. And those are, I'll tell you, and again, we didn't invent those. There's a bunch of those out there, but they're pretty freaking tasty on the Blackstone, and you'll caramelize them up nicely. What was the other question that Mags had? Oh, slot dogs?
Slot dogs.
So slot dogs are, listen, you can take a hot dog and a little knife and cross hatch on them, right? And cook them. Slot Dog is a company that makes a little device that you can, it's a little red plastic with a cross hatch, metal, I don't know, knife, whatever. Press down on the hot dog, and it basically cross hatches it for you. But I'll tell you what, whether again, you can do the same thing with a knife, but whether you cook on a grill, whether you cook on a flat top, you cross hatch a hot dog and throw it on, you get all those little nooks and crannies. You get more surface area to caramelize. It takes a regular hot dog to a whole nother level. I'll tell you, and I'm not a huge hot dog guy. I like doing kind of gourmet hot dogs. We're talking about doing a little gourmet hot dog cook where, again, we get 10, 12 guys with Blackstones, everybody doing a little different take on gourmet hot dog. But that's the way to do hot dogs. It's you got to have a little surface area. You got to have a little little cuts in your hot dog. And it not only cooks a lot better and a lot of caramelized area on it, but once you put, and CJ, I know I heard that you're not a big condiment fan, but throw some condiments on there, it soaks in those little nooks and crannies. That'll take your hot dog to a whole nother level. So we did Mags appreciate that. We did a video on slot dogs. So just a fun little kitchen implement that'll help get those crosshatches on.
Yeah, I watched that video. They turned out pretty cool. I will say that.
For some reason, Kent, people will hate on a slot dog. I'll tell you what, I got more. I think I threw the video up on Blackstone Betty's side and a couple others, and man, it between that and the Fireball pineapple, probably two of my videos that got the most little chatter about it. Fireball. People either love or hate Fireball, right? Same thing with a cheap little implement that cross hatches a hot dog. I'm like, really? We're getting all excited about it. So, yeah. But, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you just let the haters hate and move on.
That's right.
All right. I got one last question for you, and it comes from Ricer at Dead Broke Barbecue. Seafood or steak? Which you prefer to cook, and which is better off the Blackstone?
So I love seafood, and now, well, listen, in the Bay Area, we had, San Francisco Bay right there, right? So we had some great seafood there, and now living out in New England, we got some great seafood. But I'll tell you what, 9 times out of 10, I'll take that steak. It ain't even close to me. I love a steak. I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of I love shrimp. I love crab. I don't think there's any seafood. I love oysters. It's not any kind of seafood. I did a video out here of cooking puffer fish. One of my fish in Newburyport, so close to us. Great little fish market. Went in there one day and they had puffer fish, and so you guys know. The only thing I know about puffer fish is the puffer fish that if you don't cook it right, you ain't going to see the morning. So, yeah. Fortunately, this puffer fish was different. It wasn't the poisonous fish, but I'll tell you, it was really good. So I love seafood, but if I got to choose between the two, give me a steak.
There you go. Well said. Give me that red meat any day of the week.
Absolutely.
All right, what you got over there, CJ?
What I got is the last question of the evening. C-Mac, way to power through. I know, like I said, it's past your bedtime, but
hold on. Let me get. I gotta get hydrated for this one.
There you go. Last question: who would you like to see on the hot seat?
Wow. CJ comes out with some good questions that I wasn't prepared for. Who would I like to see? You know what? I don't have anybody particular. Again, I like the tacos not tacos guy. Yeah. He's fun.
I've reached out to him, but he's too big to come on my show.
Yeah, you know what?
Big time in me.
It all come back. I think. Listen, I think anybody. Again, there's been guys that I've watched on the hot seat that, as a newbie to this whole world, that I had no idea who they were, and again, I learned a ton from them. So I would say just anybody that's passionate about what they do and is willing to kind of open up and share. I think that's what this is all about. I don't want to open the curtain, but one of the things you asked me is there anything off limits? And for me, there's nothing off limits. I've embarrassed myself too many times over the years to care about what people think about me, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. Listen, you're 6'10", you gotta be pretty comfortable within your own skin, because you're stared at constantly and comments and everything. And I love being and I wasn't always this way. I mean, I was super shy up until college, when I discovered alcoholic girls. And I tell my son, who's also very shy, he's kind of my mini me. And I said, listen, we got to figure out your way through this and open up and just be comfortable within your own skin. And so, again, a long way of answering your question. I don't have a name for you, brother. I would just say whoever is willing to come on, have a good time, share what they do, share their passion, and give the rest of us an opportunity to suck some knowledge from them and have a good time. And listen, I appreciate the time. I appreciate, again, from being a newbie in this game, the folks that you have on your on the hot seat, and the guests. Everybody's been super cool. That it's just been a blast. So I appreciate the time, and we'll continue to keep on striving for putting out some fun stuff. And you got a commitment that we'll follow all you guys and gals, and looking forward to seeing what comes in the future.
Right on. Very cool, man. Well, I appreciate you being on, man. This was a great time, and I'm sorry for the jokers at the beginning of the chat there, but they're all good. Speaking of jokers,
what's up, Dad?
He said, "What up, man?" All right, so Dutch, you got anything to say on the way out, bub?
C-Mac, great job. It was fun, that's for sure. I knew this one would be fun after we talked this morning. So, continued success out there with Riverfest. And next time, I'm just going to throw this out there.
Yes.
Next January, CJ and I are available to go to the Phoenix Open. I'm just saying.
So
I'll clear my calendar.
Let us know.
So Dutch, two things. Absolutely, we need to rendezvous out in Scottsdale. We'll get a pimp pad. We'll get some cooking on and go to the Open. Riverfest. Any of y'all that are out here in the New England area, or those of you that may want to travel with something, I've done this for 15 years. C-Max Riverfest barbecue competition. I got a little page on Facebook. Last year, our second year out here, we had 15 teams. We had about 250 people we hold it in my backyard, big ass backyard. A lot of fun. So anybody that wants to come out here, I know some of y'all are traveling.
Cool.
Awesome. So invite is open. All right. We always have it the Saturday after Memorial Day weekend. So this year it's May 30th. Texas style C-Max Riverfest barbecue comp. So appreciate you.
Right on, man. Hey, C-Mac, you did awesome, dude. Really appreciate you being on. Guys, shorter show than normal, but not really. I mean, we're about 20 minutes less than we normally do. But trying to keep track of all these jokers, talking in my ear, leaning in front of my face, whatever. Getting text messages, the whole bit. So, guys, next week's guest is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue. Can't wait for that one. He's got a great promo trailer coming out on Sunday, so make sure y'all tune it in. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. C-Mac, hang out where you're at. Dutch, great job as always, brother. We'll see you next week.